Hi, hello, welcome everyone. IPL 2026, yet another week gone by. Almost on the we are closing in on to the middle of the season, to the completion of first half of the season. Maria Nandatrikku. We talked about so many things in the previous episode. A lot of things turned out to be, the reality. A lot of things happened the way we thought it will. And last week, I wanted to face it and all that. A lot of interesting games, close games, suspense thrillers that coming down. And in the week, sort of it didn't follow the same pattern. It went back to the previous set of patterns, set of games that we saw, but we still have a lot of talking points. We have got Keraj on the show, and we've got a lot to look forward to. Around the 9 to 10 games happened in the past week, so we're going to look at all of them. Keraj, how's the Josh? How's this week been with respect to this IPL?
I mean, this week has been a little probably not as good as the last week. கொஞ்சம் like one-sided games தான் இருந்துச்சு. We saw Punjab again be as dominant as they were since the start. CSK ஒரு turnaround மாதிரி இருந்துச்சு. They won two back-to-back games at Sheffield after a long time. Uh,
Yeah.
and there are some teams as well. In the Mumbai Indians, they are not able to get off the mark as well as they would like to. Hardik Pandya saying
Yeah.
நிறைய team changes இருக்கலாம் now. So there are like a lot of things to talk about definitely, but games wise, you would like to see independent close games.
100%. We would like to, with respect to the entertainment part of it, we would definitely like to see more close games. And even the cricketing angle to sort of make it an even contest between the teams playing there. Points table pata வந்து we see that Punjab Kings are sitting there right at the top without a single loss this season. அப்படியே opposite of flip பண்ணா we have KKR who haven't got a single win this season and have already played 6 games. At the top, when I look at the points table, PBKS, RCB, and Repero, number one and number two, it almost feels like both of them are playing in a different league. Or RR, when we saw RR was also on the same lines, but or SRH, we saw the kind of defeat they face. So they are sitting at the third position. But I feel the top two are very hammering kind of cricket, and the way they're playing is crazy. And updates shifting back to the bottom. Mumbai Indians are struggling so much. They're at the ninth position right now, and teams like CSK, SRH somehow, and LSG also for that matter of fact, somehow they're turning off the tables with a few performances here and there. We'll take a look at all the matches. Patient in the PBKS versus SRH. We'll start off with that. Um, it was a crazy start for SRH. SRH was the first batting on.
Mm,
It was a crazy start around over 8 overs. They were already at 110 mark or something.
yeah.
But it was a highlight in that match. Power play ஃபுல்லா வந்து ஹெட் அண்ட் அபிஷேக் சரியான அடி தம்சம் பண்ணிட்டாங்க போட்டு and then Shashank Singh was brought into the bowling attack. And like this guy is actually bowling with last episode பேசியிருந்தோம் about how spinners are bowling at a pace of 100, 110. Shashank Singh is also bowling at an average pace of 110 or so. And this guy came in and like he got a double wicket over. Head Abhishek ரெண்டு பேரையும் வந்து எடுத்துட்டு ஒரு மாதிரி post that point of time SRS ஓட run scoring got slowed down. So that was a very very key moment, and we saw that even in the next game of PBKS, Shashank Singh was given the ball. So there is a very key thing that we observed, like something the ball put to breakthrough வந்து he was actually able to get that also. So that was amazing, huh?
Yeah, like you said, the PBK's game versus SRH, they started off really well. SRH, when the opening partnership again fired for them, but
Mm.
அதுக்கப்புறம் it seemed like the ball kind of soft ஆனதுக்கப்புறம் கொஞ்சம் it started to hold a little bit for
Yeah,
the Punjab bowlers. They
பவர் பிளேல 105 அடிச்சாங்க, அதுக்கப்புறம் they slowed
yeah,
down.
after that they slowed down. And even though I think Larson and everyone's sort of at the end கொஞ்சம் runs அடிச்சாங்க, I felt like they were like 10, 20 runs short, especially against
Mm.
Punjab. They could have scored a little bit more. Even if you see how they batted in the second half, Punjab openers again, they played really, really well along with Shreyas Iyer, who's been in crazy form. Uh,
Yeah,
so it seemed like again like a walk, walk in the park after the power play for Punjab.
yeah. In fact, வந்து எஸ்ஆர்எஸ் பிளேயர்ஸ் எஸ்ஆர்எஸ் ஓப்பனர்ஸ் எப்படி ஆடினாங்களோ அதே ரேட்ல அதே மாதிரி தான் வந்து பிபிகேஸ் ஓப்பனர்ஸும் ஆடினாங்க. But the difference there was how the PBK's middle order, especially guy like when you're having a guy like Shreyas here and there. Shreyas Iyer is like in uh, absolute tremendous form ல இருக்கான். அவன் வந்து like he's almost looking like the Virat Kohli of the ஒரு 10 years முன்னாடி இருந்த ஒரு அந்த peak Virat Kohli like PBKS. If you remember, if you have noted, PBKS are only chasing so far, and Shreyas Iyer in every chase he has been doing, he has been there. He has been the man who, like, their go-to man who stays at the crease for a long duration and then finishes off the match. ஒரு எனக்கு அந்த ஒரு 10 years பேக் இருந்த ஒரு விராட் கோலி ஃபீல் வருது. டே இன் டே அவுட் எவ்ரி சிங்கிள் மேட்ச் அந்த அக்ரெஷனா இருக்கட்டும், அந்த ஒரு his body language, the way he carries himself on the field, the way he's coming out and scoring runs, it's actually like crazy. Even in the MI match நம்ம பார்த்தோம், he stayed there till the end and won the match for them.
Yeah, three I think three consecutive 50s is it now. நல்ல சரியான ஃபார்ம்ல இருக்காரு. லைக் யூ செட் இப்போ அந்த விராட் கோலி பழைய விராட் கோலியோட இது மாதிரி தெரியுது. விராட் கோலி ஈவன் if you see நேத்து கில் all these players kind of are getting a lot more consistent. You know what to expect from them. இந்த மாதிரி Shreyas Iyer has become now, especially over the last 2 years. Hopefully, he continues this form throughout the rest of the season, as well as probably next few seasons as well. And even if he does
Yeah,
that,
he will.
Punjab will have a trophy.
That's not bad. He will. He like it's the team's blessing that they have a player like this. நிறைய நம்மளும் பார்த்துட்டு இருக்கோம் இந்த price tag like question அது இதுன்ட்டு எல்லாமே. But one price tag that does not get questioned is the price tag of this man. And like there are people who still say he's இன்னுமே வந்து underrated or getting a lesser recognition. That is on some ranks true with respect to how his international career is panning out. But the way he's been going around, it's crazy. Yeah, so I feel Clausen வந்து கொஞ்சம் struggle ஆகுற மாதிரி தோணுது. That yes, he has runs on the board. He has runs on his statistics wise. வந்து he's on the orange cap leaderboard, top three, whatever. But I feel the Clausen that SRS expect from him. Like ஒரு அந்த நடுவுல வந்து மிடில் ஆர்டர்ல வந்து ஸ்டெபிலைஸ் பண்ற ஒரு I feel he's playing a bit ஒரு கியர் கம்மியா ஆடுற மாதிரி தோணுது. And அந்த அளவுக்கு ஒரு டேஞ்சரஸ் ஹிட்டர், ஒரு பவர்ஃபுல் ஹிட்டர் மாதிரி வந்து கிளாசன் தெரியல. ஸோ மேபி ஐ கெஸ் தட் இஸ் அ கன்சர்ன் ஃபார் எஸ்ஆர்எச்.
Yeah, that could be a concern. Run அடிக்கிறாரு, but he's not that, அந்த 2023, 2024 class and தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது. Where he is able to just,
எக்ஸாக்ட்லி.
dominate அந்த fifth gear, sixth gear. சீக்கிரமா போயிடுவார் இப்போ. He is taking a lot of time and then he's still not hitting those gears. So, I mean, that might be a concern, especially given their bowling attack. And now that we've said that the next game they brought in two youngsters who have performed really well, but we have to see how they go today against CSK.
Against CSK. In fact, when the Vettori recent out interview, he mentioned that you're going to go a bit strategical with respect to the playing 11 of Insulinda. And even the last game against RR, SRH actually made that change. So, Onatkat, Harshal Patel, ரெண்டு பேரையும் வந்து வெளில தூக்கிட்டு பிரபுல் ஹிங்கே and like Sakib Hussain, ரெண்டு புது youngsters கொண்டு வந்து both of them got a fourth fair. That was another crazy match. But yeah, like coming back to our sequence of games. நம்ம last episodeல பேசியிருந்தோம் about a much awaited battle between UZ and Klaasen, when we talked about the spinners and then the pace of the spinners and something. I guess uh, this is also a point where Noor Noor has got back his confidence. Last match when he got he got the crucial wickets around the wicket on the board. A lot of things happened. But like if you observe, you see actually bowled in the pace of around 80 to 87, 88 into Klaasen. And he was Urmari successful. He didn't go for any big hits or he didn't go for any big runs. He was very successful to just keep it under control. Match situation, yes, but we also saw somebody like Noor, like reducing his pace a little bit and like going a little bit less erratic, and he was actually successful in the previous game.
Mm,
So
yeah.
I feel on the adjustment is a important thing for a spinner.
Yeah, but நூறுக்கு வந்து ஸ்லோ வந்து 100ல இருந்து 90 வந்திருக்காரு. He's not,
Yeah,
it's
அந்த
not,
அந்த ஸ்லோ தான் அந்த ஸ்லோ தான்
yeah, he's not doing
100ல இருந்து
much.
90 these days 90 அப்படின்றதே வந்து ஒரு இட்ஸ் it's definitely on a very slower side தான் நினைக்கிறேன், because everybody are coming in and bowling at 95 to 100 range.
Hmm. Yeah, especially a lot of these new age spinners are bowling a lot more faster, like you said. But it comes down to, I think, control and the length they hit more than even the pace. நீங்க பாத்தீங்க, we keep talking about Krunal again and again. He comes in bowls all sorts of things, and he's able to get away in this modern age of batters really really well. Probably the best left arm defensive spinner in the Indian
Yeah, yeah.
Premier League. Yeah.
The best defensive spinner. We'll come to that. Defensive bowling, we have that. A lot of people are talking about it. Even IPL teams or support staff also. Malinga also, one of the interviews, like, talked about it. We'll come to that. But before that, PBKS SRS game முடிச்சதுக்கப்புறம் we had the Chennai Super Kings playing, coming off three losses, and that was a very clinical performance. They made a lot of changes. Henry drop பண்ணாங்க, and then when the Brewis came back, Gurjapneet Singh got a chance. They made quite a. Akil Hussain came in as an impact player. They made quite a lot of changes in the bowling lineup especially. Although அன்னைக்கு ப்ரூவிஸ்க்கு வந்து பெருசாலாம் சான்ஸ்லாம் கிடைக்கல for batting, but that was a very clinical, game, right? Coming off three losses, that was a very clinical win.
Yeah, they won by 20 odd runs. In a T20 game, that is relatively big. Like you said, they seem to have some sort of found the bowling and the batting combinations correctly. The now
Mm.
that Khalil Ahmed is injured, maybe kunjo, there might be problems, but we will have to see how they come up with the backup plans for that. But other than that, it seems like they really, really batted well. Sanju especially came back to form, scoring a really good 100.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, அதுக்கப்புறம் டூபே வந்து அவரோட ஃபினிஷிங் டச்சஸ் கொஞ்சம் கொடுத்தாரு. And yeah, Matre also helped with a little bit of hitting.
Mm.
So I
Yeah,
think,
Matre is in a very good form, definitely. The Sanju also played really well. On the 100 was a beautiful 100 to watch out for. But like again, one guy whose form is definitely a concern is the guy between Samson and Matre, Ruturaj. இந்த மேட்சுமே வந்து பெருசா வந்து he didn't fire, and like what the kind of knock he played, and I feel and the kind of knock could be something that might lose the game, for any other, if the game was against any other franchise, because Rutu scored 15 of 18. He was very tentative. ஒரு power playல வந்து he was very tentative. He didn't go for the big shots. The way, the kind of approach in his batting was very odd. 15 of 18, and then அங்க you can clearly see like he's 20 odd runs short. So அது வந்து team total affect பண்ணிட்டு that could like definitely come back and bite you in an important match, a performance like this. So even like last, இதுக்கு முன்னாடி ஒரு மேட்ச்ல பார்த்தோம், he played till the 11th over, but scored some 28 of 21. He wasn't able to get those breakthrough boundaries or whatever. So Rutu, I guess he's been like very looking very very off the sorts. I guess that is again a kind of concerning for Chennai Super Kings, because he's the captain also.
yeah. So I think a lot of people are suggesting, Matre could open பண்ணிட்டு he can come down so that we maximize the power play a lot more. But I don't,
Exactly. Take on one that for long.
yeah, but I don't know if they will do that. Because they would want to give, in general, if you see CSK or long rope கொடுப்பாங்க, especially to their top players.
Mm.
If you see, Matthew Hayden in all those years back, அதுக்கப்புறம் ஷேன் வாட்சன் கூட in 2019 where he didn't score anything, and then in the last two games he scored a lot. So I
Mm.
think they will still continue with it, but they will have to keep in check with the power play scores. Last game நல்லா ஆடினாங்க 72 they scored I
Yeah,
think.
last game was the first time we didn't lose a wicket in the power play, so Nalla வந்து we moved it up.
We
But again,
uh,
like if you remember last episode on you talked about we talked about it, right? In the when you having wickets in hand is not a big deal, because அது வந்து ஒரு நீ having the players in the hut is just a waste of potential, right? End of the day, or 18 balls Rutu or 18 balls Sarfraz Kano இல்ல Deval Lewis ஆடிந்தா the score would have been completely different. We talked about the exact same thing, and the same thing happened here. Like CSK went on to win the match, but I feel the score they put on the board was slightly on the lesser side, maybe.
yeah, they could have scored easily 24 runs. Had
Mm.
Brevis had played a little bit, and few other players as well. Like we are anyway actually probably playing a batter shot. We are trying to get in six bowlers and then use Dubey as the seventh bowler. But I don't think எல்லா கேமுமே அந்த மாதிரி நடக்கும். Some games we might lose a lot of wickets and then Prashant Veer இல்ல கார்த்திக் சர்மா வருவாரு. So we might lose out on that one bowling option. So hopefully Rudraj hits form. So if he hits form, I think that top order looks really good. The top three with that form, should carry us through a lot of games. And then Brevis, Dubey, Overton a little bit here and there. And one of the youngsters probably Sarfraz Kuda will probably get us through those middle overs and the back end. Hopefully Rudraj hits form in the next couple of games, and then it will be good for us in terms of the batting. Yeah, last two games I thought they could have scored more, at least 20 runs more, both the games lie out.
Exactly,
But
exactly,
the good thing is that the bowlers stepped up. They were the first team to defend 200 in this IPL. So score below
exactly.
200 in
First
this
team to
IPL.
defend 200 in the IPL, and defending 200 வந்து ஒரு I guess in the last ஒரு 10 or 11 games since the 2024 edition of IPL, this is only the third time or something where CSK defended less than 200. So that was the case. But as you mentioned, Ruthu's form ரொம்ப important. Yes, all that is true. But we saw in the previous games that Dubey was also not hitting much in the death overs. Around he was there in the death overs. Like CSK only scored nine overs or 80 runs. They only scored in the death overs against KKR, and Dubey was there. Dubey scored around like only one boundary in about 12 balls. மற்றது எல்லாமே double, single, zero. Like he just scored 13 runs in about 12 balls. Like நம்ம பார்த்தோம் ஈவன் ப்ரூவிஸ் அண்ட் சர்ஃப்ராஸ் லைட்டா வந்து ஸ்ட்ரகிள் பண்ணாங்க. ஆல்மோஸ்ட் ஒரு our run rate was ridiculous at that point of time. பவர் பிளேல 12 ஆடுறோம், மிடில் வந்து 9 ஆடுறோம், டெத் ஓவர்ஸ்ல வந்து 7 ஆடின்னு இருக்கும் ரன் ரேட். லிட்டரலி உல்டாவா இருக்கு அப்படியே ஆப்போசிட்டா. ஸோ ஐ ஃபீல் as much as we talk about ருத்து அந்த பவர் பிளேல ஃபயர் கிடைக்கல whatever, டெத்ல வந்து பேட்டிங் ஆல்சோ ஸ்லைட்லி எனக்கு கொஞ்சம் டூபேவோட ஹிட்டிங் ஆல்சோ ஸ்லைட்லி ஆன் அண்ட் ஆஃபா இருக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கு.
Yeah, especially today's game, they have to be at their A game. Run on the extra 20 runs, கிடைக்கலனா they will be under the bus. They will
எக்ஸாக்ட்லி.
need us to extra 20, 30 runs, especially given the bowling lineup and the batting lineup they are going against SRH. So hopefully they sort it out. Maybe who knows? Dhoni has traveled to Hyderabad this next. I think I don't know if he is going to play. There are rumors, next game and maybe not this game. Pat Cummins will be back as well. So we'll see. Interesting matchups coming up at the Poland Cup.
Now that now that it has been 3 weeks, நிறைய டீம்ஸ்க்கு ஒரு மாதிரி காம்பினேஷன் செட் ஆயிடுச்சு. அட்லீஸ்ட் செட் ஆகுற மாதிரி இருக்கு. இப்போ சம் டீம் லைக் சிஎஸ்கே இப்போதான் ஒரு 2 மேட்சா வந்து ஒரு அன்சேஞ்ச் லெவனோட போறோம். ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு காம்பினேஷன் செட் ஆன மாதிரி இருக்கு. It'll be interesting to see how if MS comes back in, what will be the change they'll be doing, who will they be dropping off, or like how will MS fit in the playing well. And like same for SR as you mentioned, Cummins வந்தா வந்து how will their we will see a change. And we have seen something, to be honest. He's a very good captain, he's a very good leader, Pat Cummins. But when it comes to bowling, Pat Cummins வந்து பெருசாலாம் இம்ப்ரெசிவான பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் ஸோ இது ஃபயர்லாம் பண்ணதில்லை இந்த ஐபிஎல் ஸோ ஃபார். பேட்டிங்ல கூட ஹி ஹஸ் ஹிட் லைக் 90 அடிச்சிருக்கான், பட் லைக் போலிங்ல பெருசா இது பண்ணதில்ல. ஸோ இல் பி இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங் டு சி நவ் தட் எஸ்ஆர்எச் ஓட போலிங் லுக்ஸ் slightly good. So yeah, moving on to the next picture that we saw, Super Sunday, LSG up against Gujarat Titans. LSG have been a side, they've been going or Murray on and off. You know, comparing to the other bowling units and like they stand somewhere on the same level. They are going with a strong Indian core, backed by a good coach, Justin Langer Illame. But I feel um, for every team that has been the template and the top four on the fire பண்றது அந்த மாதிரி it has been the template. Marsh, Pooran, Markram and Pant பெருசா வந்து அந்த இடத்துலயும் வந்து they have not been firing. They have been on the back of even RCB match பார்த்தோம். They like their batting was absolutely bad. Like I guess even if their bowling is good, your batting in the era வந்து teams like CSK are surviving. Yes, so CSK they are surviving. Batting கடப்பார ஏதோ வச்சுட்டு bowlingல வந்து something பண்ணி they're surviving. But if your bowling is only good and this is not the era where like Mumbai Indians would come in and say defend 140, defend low totals in India அப்படின்ற மாதிரி வந்து இப்ப இந்த ஐபிஎல் இவ்வளோ மேட்ச் பார்த்திருக்கோம், but we didn't see any match where low total was defended like that. So I feel LSD அங்க வந்து கொஞ்சம் மிஸ் அவுட் ஆறாங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Not due to lack of players availability, but probably due to the form and stuff.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of the, sort of international sort of pedigree bowlers probably. But still, ஏதோ இது இங்க அங்கன்னு pieces they are putting together and they are performing whatever they can. But still, against some of these sides, I don't think they are as strong as the other sides. If you see, Puran கூட form க்கு இன்னும் வரல. It seems woefully out of form. Last year, and the Markram and Mitchell Marsh partnership was really, really good. Cinema matches they have performed here and there, but they're not able to, give them that consistent run. Rishabh Pantum seems all over the place. இங்க அங்கன்னு பால் அடிச்சு அவுட் ஆறாரு. பேட் தூக்கி போடுறாரு. So he- so it seems like they don't seem to have an identity as a team. High impact ஆடணுமா, bowling team, batting team, என்ன பண்றாங்கன்னு தெரியல. They put together a team and they are on the park. That's how it seems.
Correct, correct. And they have gained or money going off the sorts. But what about a side like GT? I feel ஜிடி வந்து ஒரு மாதிரி இந்த சைலண்டா யாருமே ஹைப்பும் பண்ணாம யாருமே ரைட் ஆஃபும் பண்ணாம சைலண்டா தேர் டூயிங் தேர் ஜாப்னு தோணுது. 5 கேம்ஸ்ல 3 wins, சிட்டிங் அட் 6 points. இந்த 4 pointsல இருக்கிற ஒரு bunch of ஒரு crowd of teams வந்து ஸ்லைட்லி அப்பர் இருக்காங்க. ஸோ லைக் கில் இஸ் கம்ப்ளீட்லி பேக் டு ஃபார்ம் இன் தேர் சைட் ஆல்சோ நவ். செம்மையா வந்து செம்ம ரன்ல இருக்கான் and like he's at the top of the orange cap leaderboard. And Sai is also batting well, of course. Butler is also coming in and scoring or 25 of 12, which is like coming in handy at times. We saw Washi, he was also like LSG or he was also hitting some runs. And I feel overall there also Rashid Khan came back to form most importantly. We saw the other game, 3 for 17 in 4 overs. He came back to form. So I feel somewhere, they are silently doing the job again. Batting on the top four is doing something, and then bowlingல வந்து they're somewhat picking it up updated.
Yeah, they are. They seem to be GT seem to be coming together really well. அவங்க கிட்ட especially when they are chasing, they seem to be a good side to go all the way. And the top three,
Yeah,
especially now that Butler is also coming back to form. Last game he scored 25 good innings, 25 odd, and then he scored 250s back before that as well. So he
before that.
he seems to be coming back to form. Sai Kodusala games he has performed. Gill obviously is the orange cap holder. And they seem to be
Mm,
using Washington better this season as compared to last season.
exactly.
And they have
Mm,
given Phillips the chance now that Rutherford is not there. So ஓரளவுக்கு ஏதோ it's coming together. And even their bowling, somehow Prasid, last IPL and he is able to pick up those wickets. He's able
yeah,
to,
he's carrying the same form.
yeah, he's able to, performed really well. And with Rashid Khan coming back to form, and Siraj doing some of the opening bowling duties, they seem to be coming together really well. But yeah, we will have to see how they go about when they are batting first. Sometimes we saw in that last week DC game, they even though they won that game, DC should have
Understood.
won that.
Mm.
So we will have to see. Bowling பார்த்தீங்கன்னா Rabada has been கொஞ்சம் off the boil. Last game இந்த game பார்த்தீங்கன்னா he went for a lot of runs. They might try to optimize that maybe. There are some issues there on the death hitting on the one or two bowlers here
Yeah,
and there, but they're right now covering them really, really well. And if they're able to,
yeah,
chase, probably they will probably win most of the games. But yeah, toss sometimes is not in your hands. Not a big game, so we will have to see how they move out in the next few games.
yeah. It's all about the balance after all. GT have that balance on and off, but as you said, Rabada on the surprisingly he's the worst bowler of that lineup currently. So on the look, Rabada's form has been bad. So Rabada, if he gets back in form and he steps up, this bowling attack is definitely going to Samaya fire down with Rashid Slater back in form. Prasid is doing good. Siraj is also doing good. But on the chasing, like when they were defending in total the other day, Siraj leaked a lot of runs. So as you mentioned in the second bowling, எப்படி பண்றாங்க as his bowling unit அப்படின்றத பார்க்கணும். And also on a rough day when top does not fire, the top three does not fire. We'll need to see how they, pan out. But yeah, as it stands, I feel they have a good chance of qualification if they, consistently play the same way. Between Gujarat Titans and Delhi Capitals, who would you like, pick? Like who's looking better?
Hmm. DC just last two games they have not won it. Today they have a game against I think RCB if I'm not
RCB. Mm,
if I'm not wrong. And it's a tough opposition. Bangalore வேற ஆடுறாங்க. So maybe
mm.
we can judge them after that game, because they're coming against a really good side. நல்ல டீமோட ஜெயிச்சாங்கன்னா they will have a lot of confidence. But they seem to be கொஞ்சம் அந்த லாஸ்ட் சீசன் மாதிரி நல்லா ஆரம்பிச்சுட்டு they are just falling off a little bit. Hopefully they pick it up. It seems like GTR on the upper side when you compare those two teams.
100%. I would also agree on the same. DC ஒரு மாதிரி நல்ல ஸ்டார்ட் வந்துட்டு they are sort of going down the drain. But yeah, talking about RCB லாம் வந்து peak formல இருக்காங்க. They lost their game versus RR. They actually lost the game after a very long gap, almost ஒரு 320 days, 320 days. அப்புறம் they lost the game in the IPL. But I feel they're still in a very good form. The other day, LSG match அப்புறம் we had RCB playing against MI. ரொம்ப ஒரு மாதிரி தேர் பேட்டிங் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அப்படின்னா ஈஸியா ஒரு 240 250 அடிச்சிடுறாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் ஒரு கன்வின்சிங்கா கம்ஃபர்டபுளான ஒரு ஒரு வின் கிடைச்சிருது irrespective வெதர் தேர் ஆப்போனன்ட் இஸ் பேட்டிங் டில் தட் லாஸ்ட் பால் ஆஃப் த 20th ஓவர்னா கூட தேர் கெட்டிங் தட் கன்வின்சிங் வின். சரியான பேட்டிங் வச்சுட்டு தேர் ஹேமரிங் அ லாட் ஆஃப் ரன்ஸ் அண்ட் லைக் கம்ப்ளீட்லி அவுட் பிளேயிங் தேர் ஆப்போனன்ட்ஸ் அட் திஸ் பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் டைம்.
Yeah, they're able to do that. But yeah, we will have to see how they go about in the next few games. இன்னைக்கு again RCB versus DC. I'm not sure. Mostly RCB should win it, but we will have to see how they line up Lungi Giddy and a lot of these kind of bowlers how they perform for DC. Yeah,
Is actually like அந்த சிஎஸ்கே கேம்ல கூட பார்த்தோம் சக்சஸ்ஃபுல் ஒரு பழைய பிராவோ மாதிரி வந்து ஸ்லோவா ஓடி வந்து ஒரு வைட் ஆஃப் கட்டர் மாதிரி ஒன்னு போட்டு இஸ் கண்ட்ரோலிங் த ரன்ஸ் தேர் இஸ் பீங் சக்சஸ்ஃபுல் டூயிங் தட் ஸோ இஸ் ஆல்சோ இன் அ குட் டச். பட் அகைன் ஆர்சிபியோட பேட்டிங் பத்தி சொல்லவே வேணாம். எவ்ரி கேம் தேர் ஹிட்டிங் 200. Their run rate, the scoring rate has been around 11.8, around 12 கிட்ட இருக்கு. The second team on that list is Rajasthan Royals, who are having a scoring rate of around 10.6. So on the level of difference between the two sides இருக்கு, the two good sides. Even Punjab Kings ஒரு 10.55 அந்த மாதிரி இருக்காங்க. But RCB is sitting close to 12. So they are literally hammering runs out there. Even the game versus LSG. LSG scored a very less total on the board that we all know, but they managed to chase it in 15 overs, Murray, and not just the that part, but like the way they approached the chase was what was the talking point because யாருமே வந்து விக்கெட் விடக்கூடாது ஸ்லோவா எடுத்துட்டு போலாம் டார்கெட் கம்மியா இருக்கு லாஸ்ட் வரைக்கும் எடுத்துட்டு போலாம் பொறுமையா ஒன்ஸ் அண்ட் டூஸ் எடுத்து அடிச்சுக்கலாம் அப்படின்னு வரல எவ்ரிபடி லிட்டரலி ஹிட் ரன்ஸ் ஓவர் தேர் அன்னைக்கு மேட்ச்ல பேட்டிங் ஆன வந்த எவ்ரி சிங்கிள் பேட்டர் scored sixes and fours. They scored their runs. I guess that is the modern approach to how you go about with your batting.
Yeah, they seem to have stacked their batting lineup. Jitesh, Krunal, Veriko. Kuda, they seem to be coming in and just, even Kohli is now seemingly happy with scoring 30s, 40s, 50s. And then,
Exactly.
on one odd day, he will probably score that big run. And he's still able to, be in that highest run scorer list, which is really good for, I think, RCB. Hopefully, they continue their form. And Josh Hazelwood, last game, he came back and really, bowled well. Even their bowling attack seems to be coming together good like last season, and it seems like on the top two
Yeah.
slots, punchable life will be again mostly Punjab and RCB.
Punjab and RCB, not only the top two, in fact, வந்து ஃபைனல்ஸே வந்து பஞ்சாப் ஆர்சிபி வர ரேஞ்சுக்கு வந்து you know their performances have been like that. Both of them are literally dominating this entire tournament, and that's really good to see. Two new faces, two new teams completely dominating just through pure good cricket all around. Talking about the same run rate, in fact, when the teams like LSG, they're only they have this thing where they have not conceded 200, but அது ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஒரு ரன்ஸ் ஆன் த போர்ட் அடிச்சாதானன்ற மாதிரி இருக்கு because they have been scoring at around 8 runs per over in the season. Even like the next teams, like even some team like KKR கூட வந்து ஒரு 9.4, 9.5 அடிக்கிறாங்க. But LSG have been very bad. Even DC are slightly on the lower ranks around ஒரு KKR லெவலுக்கு தான் இருக்காங்க. I feel DC are, they have to make a lot of corrections in the game, like in the way they go about a team like RCB. I guess நம்ம முன்னாடிலாம் பேசுவோம் இந்த மாதிரி எஸ்ஆர்எஸ் வந்து கடப்பார டீம் 300 அடிக்கிற டீம் அது இதுன்ட்டு. I feel like RCB is that exact team which we all thought or we all expected from SRH. On the level of ஒரு crazy team are there coming around. The other day I saw something very interesting. Krunal is like doing really well. Bowie is like doing really really well. He's like not talked about so much, but Bowie வந்து செம்மையா போட்டுன்னு இருக்கான். And like how is he doing it, man? Like day in day, like after every season, last season he bowled well. This season also, I guess, அந்த யாக்கர்ஸ் நெயில் பண்றது ஓப்பனிங்லயும் வந்து போடுறது. He's also got a bit of late swing on and off of the and like I don't know, like even he's not playing international cricket also, like to the level that next year for retention வரும்போது both Krunal and Bhuvi, according to that BCCI rule, they both can be retained as uncapped players because they have not played international cricket in இவ்வளவு years. So that also sounded crazy to me. And like Bhuvi also, he's been both of them are actually doing tremendously well for RCB.
Yeah, they've been doing really, really well. Sonamari, both Bhuvi and Kronal. Bhuvi seems to be, coming back to that. He's been always been reliable in the IPL. Silla few seasons here and there, Concho he's given away runs, but he seems to have come back really really well, opening overs and then hitting those Yorkers really well. He seems to have found out a formula for himself. One odd games obviously we will have you will have a bad day. On the RR game against RR, they did make a lot of runs, but I think they are mostly good to go all the way. Maybe two titles back to back as well, given they continue the form and the bowling form as well.
That would be a crazy, man. That would be a crazy redemption. In fact, when they everything is sort of going good for them, even like usually for Indian core தான் important அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, but their foreign players have won 4 man of the matches. Duffy, David. like they have been Angio, Salt, David, Hazelwood, Duffy. நாலு பேருமே வந்து they have a man of the match on their side, and அங்கேயுமே they are doing good. They're really doing good. They are stopping and changing between Duffy and Hazelwood, but somehow they're still maintaining the balance. சொன்ன மாதிரி வந்து title defense is probably on the cards, and it would be crazy if they actually pull it off. But moving on to another highlight moment of the week. அப்படின்னா வந்து another team up the order to Rajasthan Royals. நம்ம last week தான் பேசணும். They will have their bad day. Definitely, any team will have their bad day. They have been dominating so far, but they'll definitely have their bad day in there. Two new guys came in, Praful Hinge and Sakib Hussain. Literally பிச்சு மேய்ஞ்சிட்டாங்க. First over 1 for 3, and then 2 for 4, 9 for 5. ஒரு 49 வந்து இஸ் அட் டேஞ்சர். கன்ஃபார்மா இந்த ரேட்ல எல்லாம் வந்து தே ஒன்ட் கிராஸ் 49ன்ற லெவலுக்கு வந்து இட் வெண்ட் அப் டில் தட். எப்படியோ ஆடின இந்த ஆர்ஆர் வந்து கம்ப்ளீட்டா தே ஹேமர்ட் தெம் அண்ட் லைக் புட் தெம் டு த கிரவுண்ட். 9 for 5 ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்ட் பண்ணி சரியான bowling and like not just score boards and wickets and stuff. The way they bowled also hitting the lens, bringing about that swing, ஒரு லைன் அண்ட் லென்த் நல்லா டிசிப்ளின்டா மெயின்டைன் பண்றது, both Praful Hinge and Sakib Hussain, that was actually crazy, man.
Yeah, both Hinge and both Praful Hinge and Sakib bowled really, really well. Especially Sakib, Praful starting நல்லா போட்டாரு with the swing and he got those 3 wickets. But Sakib, I thought, had a lot more variety to him. He hit those Yorkers really well. நல்ல பேஸ்லையும் போட்டாரு. And he was also
Mm.
able to bowl couple of good slow balls. So I felt, both those are good finds. But again, this is the IPL. You will have to see how they come along for the rest of the season. Maybe they might not play all the games together. Some games not get good out given how the pitch conditions are. And then, once Cummins comes in as well, we will have to see how the bowling lineup looks for SRH. You know, in this game especially, I thought, SRH really, really outbowled RR. RR கொஞ்சம் you expected them to, score a lot better from the top order. And even them, they seem to be
Mm.
one batter short probably. Jofra Archer 8ல வராரு. They are playing with that.
8 yeah.
They are probably playing with, trying to play with both Archer, Berger, Bishnoi, and then the ஓரளவுக்கு நல்ல bowling நினைப்பிச்சுட்டு and then try to, just outbat oppositions with that top three, top four. But for now, we will have to see again. In the match, Nala, are they going to back down on their approach, which I don't think they will do and they should do. But I think uh, one of the positives might be, Donovan Ferreira. Now that yeah,
Yeah, he played really well. He saved them from that. Of course, Jaddu was also there. Yeah, both of them put together some runs on the board and saved our from humiliation. Donovan Ferrer also, and வந்து செம்மையா like he scored at a very good rate also from that position.
yeah, he scored really, really well. இல்ல கொஞ்சம் it seemed like they were in the hunt கொஞ்சம் வரைக்கும். அதுக்கப்புறம் because there was no batters on the 5 wickets அப்புறம் once Archer was only there, it was a little bit more difficult for them to chase the target. Even though SRH bowling up is relatively inexperienced, they were able to pull through and bowl really well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. செம்மையா வந்து புல் பேக் பண்ணிட்டாங்க. பட் ஐ டோன்ட் திங்க் அ டீம் லைக் ஆர்ஆர் வுட் ஆக்சுவலி வரி அ லாட் அபவுட் திஸ், பிகாஸ் தே நோ தட் இந்த மாதிரி வந்து கேம்ஸ் டூ ஹேப்பன். இவ்வளோ பெரிய லீக்ல இந்த மாதிரி கேம்ஸ் டூ ஹேப்பன், அண்ட் திஸ் இஸ் ஜஸ்ட் ஆன் அண்ட் ஆஃப். அண்ட் சொன்ன மாதிரி வந்து they have a match against CSK today. It'll be interesting to see if they both play, and if they play, how will they fare out? Sakib Hussain round Chennai CSK camp, he's been a net bowler, so he might know something about the CSK side. And Vettori also mentioned the tactical change that will probably be coming in. So longer run, how consistent they are in Parker, it will be that there is something we have to wait and see. Talking about all these things, somehow last week has been the way where the teams that were in the top dominating, they're still dominating. RR, of course, light pullback, but teams like KKR or MI, they're still like very very bad, down bad. uh, MI வந்து we talked about CSK. We talked about CSK or legacy, their body language, their the culture. அது இது நிறைய பேசணும். MI is no less. MI is on the same page actually. MI is on the same lines. They also have an amazing culture. They also have an amazing ஒரு franchise. ஒரு இவ்வளவு வருஷம் கப் அடிச்சிருக்காங்க எல்லாமே. But like, what's really going wrong for them? Like, at least CSK க்கு வந்து something clicked, and it has clicked for 2 games continuously. And they have a match again today. But MI க்கு வந்து literally nothing seems to be going their way. They are not dominating. They are not pressing. They're on the field. Body language is looking very down and bad. என்னதான் நடக்குது அந்த டீம்ல?
I don't know. I cannot put any, sort of point my fingers at something and see what is wrong. Captaincy in Solam, but I don't know with the personnel that they have. Especially at least the batting, they should be performing really well. Bowling, you can understand. Bumrah probably Bumrah மட்டும் தான் இருக்காரு, but even he has been, wicketless this entire IPL,
Wicketலess. Hmm.
which is surprising. And I know some positives are there. Gazanfar நல்லா போட்டிருக்காரு. There are other players, but they are not able to get that bowling combination. கொஞ்சம் அந்த bowling சரியா வரல. Shardul and Deepak Char are not able to give them that, sort of stability that they need from that, third, fourth bowler. இப்போ லாஸ்ட் டைம் இவரும் போயிட்டாரு. ட்ரெண்ட் போல்ட்டையும் எடுத்துட்டு they brought in Quinton de Kock and he scored a
Yeah.
brilliant 100. So maybe there might be tough calls like Hardik சொன்ன மாதிரி there might be very very tough calls. And they might try out a few players that they have in their ranks. But I'm not sure how exactly. No, batting wise, they have to go with the same lineup. Maybe, Quinton Duck கொண்டு வந்துட்டு Randy Gilton உள்ள வைக்கலாம். I mean, they can bring in probably Will Jacks. But
Hmm.
batting wise, they have to go with these players. They have the pedigree. They are a lot of these players are playing for India as well. Maybe நிறைய பேர் சொல்லியிருந்தாங்க.
Yeah.
If you compare them to Punjab, Punjab has a lot of youngsters, a lot of uncapped players. And they seem to be more hungry than Mumbai Indians. Even if you saw in that MI versus Punjab game as well, it seemed like
Yeah.
Punjab was way ahead of Mumbai. It was like a thrashing of Mumbai.
கண்டிப்பா
16, 17
கண்டிப்பா
ஓவர்ஸ்ல 200 odd chase, ஒரு 180 odd chase பண்ணாங்க.
சேஸ் பண்ணிட்டு போயிட்டான். ம்.
Yeah, so there seems to be some confidence, maybe like confidence issue. Obviously, the bowling group is not coming together as well as they had thought. So hopefully they at least make a comeback in the next few games. They have, I think, games against CSK coming up as well. So we will have to see how they go for the next couple of games.
இந்த திங் அபவுட் தட் போலிங், தீபக் சார் வந்து ஸ்டாண்டர்டா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஓவர் போலிங் போட்டு ஒரு 15-20 ரன் கொடுக்குற மாதிரி இருக்கு லிட்டரலி. இது இந்த பெனால்டி இதுலலாம் சொல்லும் போது வந்து ஒரு 5 ரன்ஸ் டார்கெட்ல இருந்து ஒரு 5 ரன்ஸ் 15 ரன்ஸ் மைனஸ் பண்ணிக்கோன்னு சொல்ற மாதிரி ஸ்டாண்டர்டா டார்கெட்ல இருந்து ஒரு 15 ரன்ஸ் கம்மி பண்ணிக்கோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஓவர்ல, அந்த 15 ரன்ஸ் வந்துரும்னு தீபக் சார் கொடுக்குற மாதிரி இருக்கு. His economy in first over is 15 by the way, and he's been bowling at the same economy. அதே 15 economy தான் throughout this season he's been bowling. ஈவன் ஷார்துல் தாக்கூர் ஃபார் தட் மேட்டர் ஆஃப் ஃபேக்ட், நம்மளுக்கு பும்ரா விக்கெட் எடுக்கல, அதனால வந்து ஒரு மும்பை இந்தியன்ஸ்ல விக்கெட் விழுந்தாலே வந்து ஷார்துல் தாக்கூர் எடுக்கிறான், ஓகே சூப்பர் அப்படின்ற மாதிரி இருக்கு. பட் லைக் ஹீஸ் ஆல்சோ லீக்கிங் சோ மச் ஆஃப் ரன்ஸ். 3 ஓவர் 45 கொடுத்துட்டு 2 விக்கெட் எடுத்தா வந்து ஐ டோன்ட் நோ ஹவ் வெல் தட் ஹெல்ப்ஸ் அ டீம். பிகாஸ் தீஸ் டேஸ் ஒரு சைடு விக்கெட் போனாலும் ரன் அடிச்சுட்டே இருக்காங்க. இந்த 2 பேர் வச்சுட்டு ஒரு மனுஷன் 2 வாட்டி கப் அடிச்சது எப்படின்லாம் வந்து யோசிச்சு பார்த்தா இட் ஃபீல்ஸ் கிரேசி மேட்ச் லைட்டா. இந்த 2 போலிங், இந்த 2 bowlers வச்சுட்டு. அண்ட் ஐ டோன்ட் நோ, ஆஸ் யூ செட், எம்ஐ டூ ஹாவ் டு டேக் அஸ் ஒரு ஹார்ஷ் ஒரு லைக் ஒரு ஹார்ட் கால். எஸ்ஆர்எஸ் டிட் தட். ஒரு உனட்கட்லயும் ஹர்ஷல் பட்டேலையும் வெளில தூக்கி வச்சுட்டு வி வில் ட்ரை அவுட் திஸ் bowlers பிரபுல் சிங்கே அண்ட் சாகிப் ஹுசைன் ட்ரை அவுட் பண்ணாங்க. 8 விக்கெட் வந்துச்சு, ஜெயிச்சாங்க செம்மையா அந்த மேட்ச. எம்ஐ ஷுட் ஆல்சோ டூ தட் இன் மை ஒப்பீனியன். Deepak says, Shahul Thakur, it's not even snubbing them off. It's just probably, give them a break, give them a rest. Like try out Ashwini Kumarnu ஒருத்தர் இருக்கான். They already tried him out in the previous editions and he has been decent enough for them. அவனை திரும்ப உள்ள எடுத்துட்டு வரலாம். And but somewhere I also feel when you look for these backups, I also feel you mentioned how like PBKS is full of uncapped and like they're still hungry. But Inga Vanda, I also feel that MI have sort of using their purse. They have like picked for 11 stars in the team. ஒரு ஸ்டார் ஸ்டடட் லைனப் ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு ஆன் பேப்பர் பார்க்கும்போது செம்மையா இருக்கு, பிக் நேம்ஸ் இருக்குன்ற மாதிரி ஒரு 11 ஸ்டார்ஸ் இந்த டீம் வாங்கிட்டு பெருசா அந்த ஸ்குவாட் வைஸ் தே ஹேவன்ட் லைக் பில்ட் மச் ஓன் தோணுது. பிகாஸ் வென் யூ நவ் கோ அண்ட் லுக் ஃபார் பேக்கப்ஸ் they don't have a lot of them. Unless you have, you have the audacity to go and completely try very, very inexperienced new face. They don't have a lot of backup options. But like on the other hand, a team like PBKS, அவங்க வந்து இந்த stars or இந்த மாதிரி எதுவும் பார்க்காம they just looked at cricket as cricket and they have just built like MI have built or 11 stars or 12 stars in the team. PBKS have built or 11 cricketers in the team. I guess that part is where there is this complete difference between both the teams that we are probably looking.
Yeah, so like you said, சொன்ன மாதிரி நிறைய பேக்கப்ஸும் அவ்வளோ are not as probably what you would like to see previous years மும்பை மாதிரி இல்லை. But yeah, they are at the end of the day, Mumbai Indians. They have always come back in the மாதிரி 5 games, 6 games, 6 games losses விட்டுட்டு கூட they have come back. But it seems like especially last few years when the game has changed a lot. And all the CSK has struggled. Mumbai has
They
Mumbai
have
Mumbai has probably kept up with it, but they're not able to find sort of that winning formula and make it continue for a long period of time. Last year they went to the qualifier too very long. But I think they should make it at some point. At some point they will get those 2 3 wins back to back. அதுக்கப்புறம் எப்படி மொமெண்டம் பிடிக்கிறாங்கன்னு we'll have to see.
yeah, like MI have been இப்போ ஒரு டீம்ல வந்து எப்படி அந்த ஸ்டார் பிளேயர் இந்த பிக் மேட்ச் பிளேயர் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோமோ, MI வந்து அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பிக் மேட்ச் டீம். நம்ம டிசி மாதிரி டீம்லாம் பார்க்குறோம். ஈவன் ஆர்ஆர் we will have to see if they continue their winning momentum or அந்த எஸ்ஆர்எச் மேட்ச்க்கு அப்புறம் சறுக்குறாங்களான்னு தெரியல. பட் MI எப்படிப்பட்ட டீம்னா தே டோன்ட் ஃபால் இன் டு திஸ் ட்ராப் ஆஃப் ப்ராப்ளி ஒரு லேட்டஸ்ட் ஸ்டேஜஸ் டோர்னமெண்ட்ல ஃபார்ம் டிப் ஆகுறது, கம்ப்ளீட்டா வந்து நல்ல ஸ்டார்ட் வந்துட்டு ஃபாலோ ஆகுறது, இந்த மாதிரிலாம் இல்லை. தே கிளச் ரைட் அட் த மொமெண்ட். இது முன்னாடி நடந்திருக்கு, லாஸ்ட் இயர் கூட நடந்துச்சு. as you mentioned, they came from a bottom position to qualify for the to come into the qualifier 2 and everything. But somehow I feel like of course that cannot happen every season. Like you can't be expecting it from them at the same time. Just be hoping. எனக்கு என்னமோ இந்த டீம் ஒரு பார்த்தா ஒரு 2020ல they won a trophy and then 2021 and 2022 was a very bad season for them. They straight away started off with 8 losses in 8 games. So அந்த லெவல் ஆஃப் ஒரு அந்த டீம்ஸுமே வந்து மோர் ஆர் லெஸ் they were on a similar side. There was அங்கேயுமே கொஞ்சம் bowling அப்படி இப்படி issues and like அங்கேயுமே they have this star-studded lineup and stuff. But somewhere again, Bumrah has been there from there till now. இப்போவுமே பும்ரா மேல ஓவர் டிபெண்டன்சி இருக்கிற மாதிரி தான் தெரியுது. பட் லைக் இஸ் ஒரு மாதிரி ரொம்ப பேட் அவுட்டா இருக்கிற மாதிரி தெரியுது பும்ரா. லைக் இஸ் டோட்டலி நாட் சம்மன் லைக் ஹர்ஷ்தீப் ஆல்சோ வி வர் டெல்லிங் பஞ்சாப் கிங்ஸ்ல ஹர்ஷ்தீப் வந்து விக்கெட்டே எடுக்கல, விக்கெட்லெஸ்ஸா போயின்னு இருக்கான் despite them winning அப்படின்ட்டு. He also got some 3 wickets இன்னைக்கு ஒரு மேட்ச்ல. பட் லைக் Bumrah is like completely weared out. He's like totally off மாதிரி தெரியுது இந்த சீசன்.
Yeah, அந்த மற்ற bowlers சேர்ந்து அவரும் it seems like he's come down a bit. Even though he's bowling really well, I think economy still is really really good, but he's not able to get those wickets. அந்த மற்ற batters அந்த ப்ரெஷருக்கு அவருக்கு எடுத்து கொடுக்க மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க to for him to get those wickets and bowl a lot better. Uh, I don't know. They probably just need a break or a 4 5 day break. Maybe if they have at some point, they probably might come back really well. Think through, take some rest, and just come with a fresh approach. Maybe.
have a research session and come back because Bumrah it's actually hard to see Bumrah like this, but this happens with everybody. Everybody do go through their bad phases, and like what I feel personally feel அப்படின்னா அன்னைக்கு வந்து the RCB MI matchல Malinga was giving an interview from the dugout, and he was mentioning about this defensive bowling. லைக் ஒரு bowling போடும்போது இந்த பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் டைம்ல வென் பேட்டர்ஸ் ஆர் கோயிங் ஃபுல் ஹேமர் அண்ட் டாங்ஸ், bowling போடும்போது வந்து அட்டாக்கிங்கா விக்கெட் விக்கெட் வேணும் எவ்ரி சிங்கிள் பால் அப்படின்னு போடாம ஜஸ்ட் ஃபோக்கஸ் ஆன் யுவர் டிஃபென்சிவ் bowling அப்படின்ட்டு. அண்ட் லைக் வென் யூ லுக் at it, somebody like Krunal Pandya, he's a very very good defensive bowler and he's been very successful for RCB in this year and last year also. ஃபைனல்ஸ்லேயே மேன் ஆஃப் த மேட்ச் வாங்கினவங்க. ஸோ going ahead, last episode we talked about how how modern T20 cricket hitting has changed and so far. So somewhere I feel in the Mumbai Indians side, Bumrah he was predominantly a defensive bowler. அங்கிருந்து he's been probably he's pushing himself to forcing himself to get those wickets and like become an attacking bowler. அந்த மாதிரி approach ஏதோ change பண்ணி mistake பண்றாங்களோ அப்படின்னு தோணுது because being a defensive bowler is the key thing to survive, I guess, here, because even somebody like Ronald Pandya defense why isn't 2 3 wickets here and there வருது because batters are trying to hit every single ball out there. So I feel on the strategy is something that not only Mumbai Indians and Bumrah, a lot of teams should probably adapt to. Just targeting on the defensive bowling side.
Yeah, I think, even CSK, you saw Cambodia start to bowl really well. Deathla, which I wasn't expecting as much. A lot of teams are going towards that defensive route. Maybe they can have like one option, one bowling option that is really attacking in the Noor Murray. Illa,
Mm.
they have someone like Gazanfar in MI. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு அட்டாகிங்
Am
ஆப்ஷன்
I?
வச்சு and then build around that player ஒரு defensive bowling unit வச்சு hopefully அந்த மாதிரி கொண்டு போகலாம். I think Malinga, as you said, Malinga kept it pretty simple. He said he only focuses on the, I think, Yorker or slower ball maybe.
Yeah,
And then, you know, probably, maybe if you're opening the bowling, maybe a little bit of swing. Other than that, options ரொம்ப எவ்வளோ கம்மியாக வச்சிருக்காங்க. அது like basically, know your strengths and bowl as defensively as possible, especially in this modern age. Yeah, batters are going
exactly,
to be. I
exactly.
think Ashwin was also telling, in modern T20, நீங்க எவ்வளவு டிஃபென்சிவா போடுறீங்களோ you will get probably as much more wickets.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a bit ironical on that side, but in fact, அதுதான் truth. சொன்ன மாதிரி Ashwin was also saying that even with respect to Bumrah, எல்லாரும் ஏன் விக்கெட் எடுக்கணும் விக்கெட் எடுக்கணும் எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்றீங்க. His job is to be that defensive bowler and do the talking. So that was another case there. And Mumbai Indians மாதிரி இன்னொரு team that's been down at the bottom of the table. They're also struggling so much. போற போக பார்த்தா ஒரு எம்ஐயோட அந்த 2020 ரெக்கார்ட் பீட் பண்ணிடுவாங்க போல. 8 மேட்சஸ் 8 லாசஸ்ன்றது. 6 மேட்சஸ் have gone by, they've lost 5. ஒரே ஒரு பாயிண்ட் luckily they got PBKS in the rain washed away match. They've also been very bad. நேத்து மேட்ச் நம்ம பார்த்தோம் ஜிடியோட. Cameron Green finally stepped up, finally runs off his bat. At least something came up from base, obviously. He slowed down towards the fag end. Death overs சுத்தமா runs வரல. 5 over 32 run, 5 wicket போச்சு. But finally some runs off his bat.
Yeah, finally some runs off his bat looked a lot better when he started, especially, you know. But they KKR do have a lot of issues. நிறைய ஓப்பனர்ஸ் எடுத்து வச்சிருக்காங்க. டாப் 4, டாப் 5 consists of openers. சுனில் நரேனும் கீழே கொண்டு வந்து probably they are not doing him as well as much good if you are considering him as a batting option. So if they have so many options, it becomes so, especially opening options, Mary, it becomes very, very difficult to, like எப்படி அந்த பேட்டிங் ஆர்டர் கரெக்டாக கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ட் பண்றது. டெத் ஓவர்ஸ் தே சீம் டு டோன்ட் ஹேவ் தட் டெத் ஓவர்ஸ் ஹிட்டர். அதனால தான் பவர்ல கொண்டு வந்திருக்காங்க. ஐ
Yeah.
திங்க் ஐ கெஸ் because last year they had Russell still. Even though even if he was performing or not performing, we knew Russell was coming. அந்தந்த இதுக்கு தான் மேபி பவர் வச்சிருக்காங்க. பட் தே சீம் டு பி லேக்கிங் தட் டெத் ஹிட்டிங் as well. ரிங்கு அண்ட் ரமன்தீப் ஆர் லைக் woefully out of form. ரமந்தி கொஞ்சம் ரன் அடிச்சாரு that CSK
Yeah,
game.
against CSK, he hit something.
But
Mm.
Rinku has been pretty bad. He's not been able to even hit the short balls for runs. So that's been a problem. On the batting, it doesn't seem like a lot of them have confidence. Uh, and it seems like it's going to be very difficult for them for the rest of the season.
Percent balance சுத்தமா வரல. Not even talking about balance. Even the right combination, I don't think they have arrived at so far. That's the case we have seen over the years. நிறைய பார்த்திருக்கோம் that it is slightly on and off because there are some teams that get the combination right towards the fag end of the season. That is, or if you're lucky, you probably get it earlier as well. But as you mentioned, ஃபுல்லா வந்து இஷ்டத்துக்கு ஓபனர்ஸ் எடுத்து வச்சிருக்காங்க. And the ironical part is they are not playing the கரெக்டான காம்பினேஷன்ல they are not playing those players also because அப்படி ஆடினாலாச்சும் at least they will get some breakthrough, some difference in the way they are approaching their innings. But அதுவுமே they are not getting, and it's been completely off. Even yesterday, I guess, as you mentioned about the throw hitting and so on, Powell is there. Powell is the only guy I feel is doing well because ஒரு Russell-esque player வந்து he's been doing well. He's definitely hitting decent தான் he's playing. But apart from that, even yesterday, around ஒரு last 5 overs, I guess Green got strike only around 10 to 11 balls. And he only scored around 3-4 நினைக்கிறேன் அந்த லாஸ்ட் இதுல. He was at 69 or 41. And next 14 balls, he only managed to score around 10. So அந்த இடத்துல வந்து they completely sort of let the game go away from them. They completely let the control away from them.
Yeah, they seem to be struggling on the middle overs, especially when spinners come on, they are not able to take the spinners on. இப்போ நீங்க அவங்க பேட்டிங் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா there doesn't seem to be any specific spin hitter. அந்த ஸ்பின் அடிக்கிற அந்த ஒரு மைட் இல்லை if you see some
Yeah,
lot of the teams have one of those players. CSK பார்த்தீங்கன்னா டூபேவா இருக்கட்டும், ஈவன் பிரவிஸ் if they have their matchup 20-30 runs கூட போகலாம் ஒரு ஓவரில். And when I see KKR, I don't see that kind of player. Like அந்த அந்த ஸ்பின் வந்தா ஒரு டேக் டவுன் பண்ற மாதிரி தெரியல. எவ்ரிபடி இஸ் ட்ரைங் டு பேட் த்ரூ தேர் ஃபேவரபிள் மேட்சப்ஸ். அண்ட் எந்த மேட்சப்ஸ் நல்லா போலையோ அது வந்து சிங்கிள் தட்டுற பார்க்குறாங்க. பட் இன் திஸ் டே அண்ட் ஏஜ் யூ நீட் அட்லீஸ்ட் ஒன் ஆர் டூ பிளேயர்ஸ் இன் தேர் ஹூ கேன் டேக் ஆன் ஸ்பின் without any
yeah.
hesitation.
100%, that's a really good point. அவங்களுக்கு வந்து அந்த ஒரு ஒரு ஸ்டாண்ட் அவுட் ஹிட்டர் ஒரு ஸ்டாண்ட் அவுட் பிளேயர் who is there to take off the game. At the same time, நம்ம இன்னொரு point also we mentioned where RCB against LSG, every player came and hit some runs. நம்ம இந்த PBKS பத்தியும் பேசியிருந்தோம் முன்னாடி. ஒரு CSK மேட்ச்ல வந்து 220 சேஸ் பண்றாங்க, ரொம்ப கம்ஃபர்டபுளா சேஸ் பண்றாங்க. எப்படின்னா எவ்ரி பிளேயர் இஸ் கம்மிங் அவுட் தேர் டேக்கிங் ஒரு 3-4 times 3-4 balls to settle, like while the other player in the other end hits. And அந்த 3-4 balls அப்புறம் he's taking the chance and hitting out of the park ஒரு 150-170 strike rate அசால்ட்டா ஆடுறாங்க. The same is happening with RCB also. And I feel அந்த மாதிரி அப்ரோச்னால தான் வந்து these two teams are definitely successful. But the other teams, of course, a lot of teams need a lot of changes in their approach. We'll go ahead and see how the things go about. Currently, வந்து overall, the league is slightly ஒரு மாதிரி ஒன் சைடடா போற மாதிரி எனக்கு ஒரு ஃபீலிங் வருது. What do you think about that?
League buddy, I think the top two are set. I think mostly it should be both the PBKS and RCB. The
RCB.
3 and 4 is well. I think it will get interesting. 4 க்கு கண்டிப்பா competition இருக்கும். 3 we will have to see if RR keep doing how they are doing right now. And the two spots I think might be where like a lot of these teams, especially from 2 to 8, will compete for those two
Yeah,
spots
yeah.
especially.
If there's a lot of ifs and buts in their play. If CSK continue their good form, they can rise up. If SRH somehow find their might, bowling la கண்டுபிடிச்சிருக்காங்க, if they carry on the same form, they can come up. If RR continue, they can probably finish at 3 or even ஒரு second place finish கூட ட்ரை பண்ணலாம். if something happens. But if they lose out, they might even lose their qualification chances. A lot of things if, are awaiting to happen. Almost I guess half of the tournament கூட முடியல. So there's a long way to go. Teams have to be consistent. Players have to be consistent throughout to keep winning and keep continuing their momentum. It has been a very entertaining league, of course, so far. நிறைய one-sided games இருந்தாலுமே batting bowling it has been entertaining. So we go on to our best moments of the week so far from the entertaining league. We have a lot of moments coming up. நிறைய catches, amazing catches, bowling, batting எல்லாமே பார்த்தோம். We'll take it one by one. First up, we have the mad shots of the week. Who is your pick for they're out of the world batting? நிறைய 200s பார்க்குறோம், நிறைய hitting பார்க்குறோம். Who's that guy who caught your eye?
This week, to be honest, I don't think batting wise there has been scores. Ishan Kishan seems to be performing really well in captaincy when it comes to batting. But if I have to pick someone, maybe I will pick Sanju because he's back to
Hmm.
form. CSK, it was an important game for him to come back to form. And some of the obviously when he scores 100, always there are amazing shots in them as well. So I would pick Sanju Samson as the batter of the week.
Batter of the week. கண்டிப்பா சஞ்சு அந்த நம்ம எங்க அந்த T20 வேர்ல்ட் கப் ஃபார்ம் எங்க போச்சு அது அப்படின்னு கேட்டு ஒரு 3 matches that form came back for Sanju Samson. சரியான அடி அந்த DC matchல. Sanju was truly back, and I would pick somebody like Rajat Patidar. Shreyas Iyer ஒரு சைடு பயங்கரமா ஆடின்னு இருக்கான். We'll come to him later. We have a special part for him. But I would pick Rajat Patidar as the batter. இந்த ஒரு மாடர்ன் T20 ஏரால இந்த லீக்ல இந்த டீம்ல இஸ் த ஸ்கிப்பர் ஆஃப் த சைட் த டிஃபெண்டிங் சாம்பியன்ஸ். அன்னைக்கு மும்பை மேட்ச் 240 அடிச்சாங்க. அண்ட் லைக் ஈவன் த LSG சேஸ் த வே பட்டிதார் ஹஸ் பீன் ஹிட்டிங் பியூர்லி ஒரு ஸ்பின்னரா இருக்கட்டும், ஒரு பேசரா இருக்கட்டும், the way he's accelerating, strike rate at which he's scoring, the shots all around the park, offside, leg side, the way Patidar has been hitting, very impressive point irukka. And like I guess he will be my pick for the best batter of the week, not taking it away from the other guys we mentioned. Going ahead, what's the Pacers delayed of the week? We saw a lot of good pace bowling on the offer. Who would you pick as the best bowler of the week, the one that gave us the delight?
Like I talked earlier, yeah, I would pick Sagib Hussain. I thought he bowled with good pace. Naria seems like a really good find. He was able to hit the Yorkers when needed, and he had variations as well. So he seems like the complete package. Obviously, how SRH how Varun Aaron takes him and does things,
Exactly.
and how he grows, we will see. But this week I will pick Sagib Hussain.
Sakib Hussain and Praful Hinge, both of them nailed it for SRS this week. Seriana find, Seriana, debut for them. Praful Hinge went on to win the man of the match. We have only had, this IPL, we have three debut man of the match so far. Duffy came in first, and then Cooper Conley, and then now Praful Hinge. So, find of the season now, and it's been going really good. It'll be interesting to see how they go about it. And I would also agree on your take for the best bowler. And also a special mention for Jamie Overton. அன்னைக்கு DC matchல he bowled really well. 4 overs, coming in later on into the attack, 4 for 18. The way he bowled was really good. Uh, ஒரு மாதிரி hitting the hard lens, hitting the right lens, and like staying disciplined on doing that. That was, I guess, my pick for the best moment.
நல்ல வேளை அவரை வைட் ஆக்கர்ஸ் போடாம they asked him to bowl to his strengths, just bowled hard lengths and high pace.
Yeah, that is true. He has a good pace for 140, 150. He's touching them frequently, and he's been able to do that consistently. So others, அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு wide yorkers இந்த அரௌண்ட் த ஸ்டம்ப்ஸ் wide yorker போடு அந்த மாதிரிலாம் இது பண்ணாம they asked him to bowl to his strengths. That was a good thing. Moving on to our next best moment, we have had amazing fielding moments in the week. and two of the crazy catches பார்த்தோம். I am not able to choose between the two for the best moment of the week. But I guess yeah, we'll talk about that. One side, Shreyas Iyer, he's literally coming off a lot of injuries, surgeries, rib, shoulder, அது இதுன்ட்டு what a catch, man! Like he just flew off the ground and like the awareness to throw the ball straight into the hands of the
Yeah.
fielder sitting just inside, and அங்கேயும் போயிட்டு correct positioning himself, making that dive, and then not falling too early onto the ground. Crazy, crazy catch, I guess. And another notable one was SRS PBKS matchல இஷான் கிஷன் லைட்டா இப்படி தூக்கி விடுறான் அந்த லெக் சைட்ல. யான்சன் லைக் he has such a big hands, அவன் கைக்கு வந்து இந்த பால் will definitely be looking like a lemon. So he just runs in அப்படியே கேஷுவலா ஓடி வந்து வெறும் கையை ரைட் கை மட்டும் இப்படி நீட்டுறான் வெளில. பால் ஜஸ்ட் அப்படியே போய் உள்ள உட்கார்ந்துருக்கு கை உள்ள. That was also another crazy catch. We saw somebody like Xavier Bartlett taking ஒரு one hand catch like that. ஒரு வெறும் ரைட் ஹேண்ட் மட்டும் நீட்டி ஒரு கேட்ச் ஒன்னு. I guess like similar one here. Janssenoட சரியான catch. Even Shreyas one. Which one would you pick out of the two?
Yeah, obviously, difficulty wise, I would pick definitely Shreyas. I think, given it was just around that boundary line, on the awareness
Oh
to
yeah.
throw the ball and just jump at the right time. It's probably like a lot more different. And the Janssen catch was more, he just ran through and put his hand out and it got through. So I would pick the Shreyas Iyer catch. It was a lot more difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, Shreyas Iyer. Going on to the next moment, Shreyas Iyer is also our best cricketer of the week. I would like to just announce that straight away, man. Like captain, batter, the way he's going about his chases, நம்ம பேசணும் முன்னாடியே everything is, he's doing everything perfectly. 10 on 10 மாதிரி வந்து he's doing it. The aura he carries on the field, அந்த catch, அந்த சரியான catch ஒன்னு எடுத்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் he pulled the entire Mumbai crowd under his feet. So the aura he's carrying out, and then he is like at the peak, definitely. இது வந்து இந்த இயர் மட்டும் இல்ல, this has been the case for 1 or 2 years, and he's been consistently doing that. And he's definitely the best cricketer of the week and of this IPL so far, I feel.
Yeah, he's been really doing well. Last three games, 350s, I think. எல்லாமே with a good strike rate. And obviously, you talked about that catch. Captaincy, he seems to have grown a lot more, since those early captaincy days. Ricky Ponting under நிறைய பேர் அப்போ சொல்லியிருந்தாங்க ரிக்கி பாண்டிங் தான் நிறைய இது பண்றாரு. He's not doing much, but he
Yeah,
seems to have, come to like a good mature level. No, and I won't be surprised after the IPL. India he starts captaining and starts batting at number four.
yeah, definitely batting captaincy ரெண்டுத்துலயுமே வந்து somebody ash தான் mention நினைக்கிறேன். If the team is not picking him, it's their miss, not his miss அப்படின்ட்டு. They should really give him the captaincy. They should really give him a go at the playing 11, yeah, batting in the middle. He's like, இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பீக்கான மூமெண்ட்ல he's definitely a huge asset to the team. So yeah, going ahead with next moments of the week, we talked about individuals, talking about the teams and matches. What has been your match for the best? What has been your best cricketing match of this week so far? இப்போ என்ன கேட்டா, I would say LSG versus RCB because from a cricketing angle, அவர் leave out the first innings. Second இன்னிங்ஸ்ல வந்து nobody was there. Like nobody, இந்த anchor அந்த இதெல்லாம் அந்த கேஸ்லாம் கிடையவே கிடையாது. Every single one of them went on to hit. Virat Kohli also he hit. Impact player வந்து 41 of 22 அடிச்சான். அதுக்கப்புறம் he slightly slowed down going ahead. But still, every player who came out, they were just hitting the runs. They were just scoring the runs. And they actually finished off for 150 or 15 overs முடிச்சிட்டாங்க. So that approach wise, I guess that was a really good game from RCB.
Yeah, like you said, approach wise was a really good game. 140 la they restricted them. It didn't seem to be like a true flat track. கொஞ்சம் it seemed like it helped the bowlers, but they seem to
Mm.
have gotten above it and they played really well. Uh, when it comes to probably the match of this week, probably I would choose the next game, which is the MI versus Punjab game. I thought Punjab really outplayed them. So on the 190, I think 198, 196 was the target, and they were able to score it in sort of 16, 17 hours. Very, very clinical, to be honest. And probably they don't need to change anything. Abhay auditor, they could probably win the tournament if they can carry through that form.
Yeah, they are actually looking very very perfect. I don't think Samamari they don't need to change anything at all. In the target chase வச்சாலும் வந்து not even till the 20th over. I don't know the last time they took it as the 20th over. 18th, 17th, 16th, 15 அந்த அதுக்கு முன்னாடியே முடிச்சுட்டு போயிடுறாங்க எல்லா டார்கெட்டுமே ரொம்ப காம்ப்ரிஹென்சிவ் சேஸாவே இருக்கு ஃபார் தி பஞ்சாப் கிங்ஸ். They definitely are no best team of the week also. And going ahead, the final moment that we're going to talk about this week, the most entertaining game of the week. And we all know at one point when the 49 all out, 49 all out, and எல்லாருமே கத்துன்னு இருந்திருப்போம். 1 for 3, 2 for 4, 9 for 5. யாரு அப்படின்னு கேட்டா வந்து ஒரு எஸ்ஆர்எச் வந்து ஒரு டாப் ஆஃப் த டேபிள்ல மேல டாமினேட்டிங்கா இருக்கிற ஒரு ராஜஸ்தான் ராயல்ஸ். I feel that pace of the game, that entire way the game panned out, that was, that could be a pick of, the most entertaining game of the week.
Yeah, it seemed to be that way. When you saw the bowling lineup, you thought, Surya is going to have a feast. And even Jural, but it seemed like on the first over, yeah, a lot of the chase was probably, you know, out of RR's reach. So they were not able to get through. Sonamari, they probably are batting. They are reliant on the top three, top four for now, and then hopefully the finishers come through on the Marda. So they are lining up like that, but we will have to see how they do for the rest of the games. But like you said,
Yeah.
yeah, like you said, that would be the most entertaining game of the week.
Yeah, most entertaining game of the week. A lot of things happened this week. A lot of things are coming up for us as well. RCB are playing against Delhi Capitals today. CSK are playing against SRH today. A super Saturday on the awaiting for us. And going ahead also, Nariya one day interesting games are lined up this week. Raj, what are you looking forward to? What do you think in the week? எப்படி இருக்க போகுது?
Oh, it's going to be interesting. The next week, I think we have CSK versus MI, so obviously that will be a good one to watch because and Purme
Yeah.
are in the bottom half of the table, and we'll see who's going to go up. So that game I would choose. Other than that, I think we will have to see if the top teams still come to
Sustain.
do really well, like PBKS, RCB. That is RCB versus DC, like you said. That will be close. And
Mm,
other than that, um, yeah, I think more standard games only. I think Trimmu next Saturday. I think that's SRH RR again. Uh, so
the
most,
return.
yeah.
Fair enough. And again, RCB Mari team had a bad game against RR. RR Mari team had a bad game against SRH. PBKS haven't had a bad game yet. And திரும்பியும் அதான் நம்ம சொல்வோம். Obviously, we all know that நிறைய கிரிக்கெட் பார்த்துருக்கோம், நிறைய ஆடி இருக்கோம், நிறைய வந்து we have seen it. Definitely PBKs will also have their bad game. Yes, red hot formல இருக்காங்க, சரியான டீமா இருக்காங்க. Even RCB for that matter, even after their bad game, MI வந்து போட்டு அடின்னு அடிச்சாங்க. LSEயோட they came back again. So even PBKs will have their bad game. We'll have to wait and see எந்த டீமோட வருது, எந்த மேட்ச்ல வருது, எப்போ வருதுன்றது எல்லாமே we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see if it's really coming this week கூட. But as you mentioned, El Clasico, ஒரு ரெண்டு wounded lions or El Clasico, that will also be interesting to see. A lot of things are coming in action for us. And also for the fans, for you guys, obviously, as I have mentioned, we have the fan corner. You people can join us on the show. You people can join us to feel free and to give us your opinions. You can send it over. Check the links in the description. You can send it over. Send over your opinions to us for a big feature of talking about a game, talking about a match, a player, anything of that sorts. A lot of things are lined up. Stay tuned to us. Keep following us on all the socials, Instagram, Twitter, live updates, and our YouTube channel for more videos. We'll see you guys in the next week with the further updates. Thank you, Kraj. Thank you for joining. Thank you, guys. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.